through last week. Um, However, that is not going to be the case every week. It's just a special thing. So, thanks for having me back. And today I'm going to talk about uncomfortable questions and comments, and have I dealt with bullying and hate, and how do I handle it? So I think I can just like fuse these two topics together, and I have dealt with uncomfortable comments and questions, and I have dealt with bullying and hate since I've come out as trans, and I've actually have dealt with some extreme shit um, that uh, I like emotionally felt like I wasn't gonna make it through it, and I did, and I'm really grateful. But I learned some really valuable lessons. So I think I'll just talk about things that happened immediately, or not immediately, but recently, like within the last 6 months. Um, so I came out as trans this last summer in like July, and um, I didn't really get a warm reception from a lot of friends. Like, I had close friends sit me down and just say things like, "Are you sure you want to do this? You're going to give up, you're going to be giving up your attractiveness. I don't want to see you become ugly." I had another friend say, "Are you sure you're not doing this because it's like in?" Or that, like, "Are you sure you're not doing it because other people are doing it?" Um, as far as like coming out as trans and transitioning, those were reactions, and that they were like not cool reactions. When I started fundraising for top surgery, I had a close friend of mine say to me, "I think it's wrong that you're fundraising and asking people for money, and it's the equivalent of me asking for money for a boob job." Needless to say, her and I are not friends anymore. um, I've had other comments like, I don't know, just like the runabout stupid stuff like, "What kind of surgery are you gonna get, and how do you have sex?" and just like really crappy shit. I've also had people out me without my permission, and that is really uncool, and I also consider that abusive. So that's about it for comments. As far as harassment, when I came out as trans to my roommate, she started harassing me and started calling me a freak on hormones, and she broke some of my things, and eventually I had to evict her from the apartment and get a restraining order against her. And I don't think that the harassment was like centralized around me being trans as much as it was centralized around her having like um, lost her fucking marbles, and she had started drinking a lot and was having a lot of problems, and then just used that to attack me because she was just trying to like attack anybody. She was trying to attack me any way that she could. Um, so that was like a really bad situation. I was under so much stress during that time because I couldn't pay my bills, and because I had this person threatening me in my home. Um, and I was like in the middle of a really tough semester, that I like was having suicidal thoughts, and I like didn't want to live because I didn't feel safe, and I had lost all of these really close friends because of all of these like really bad things that they had said. And I didn't know like where my safe space was, and it certainly wasn't in my house. And I thought I was gonna drop out of school, and it was like really fucking difficult. And I'm not ashamed to say that like I thought about ending my life because I just didn't feel safe. It's like everywhere I turned felt really hostile to me, and and everything was changing, and it was like one thing after another, and have calmed down since. But what I learned that was really valuable was that, as somebody who's trans and somebody who's transitioning, I have to be really, I have to use a lot of discretion about who I trust, and I have to be really picky about my friends because a lot of people just like don't understand, they don't get it. Um, and I would say that like the majority of people, even if they're well-meaning, are not safe because they're ignorant, or they don't have like the degree of sensitivity that it takes to be like a safe space. Um, so what I've gone through with bullying and harassment and comments has essentially amounted to an entire overhaul of my friends and my social structure, where now I have I have less people in my life, but they're of more quality. Um, and I'm very judicial about who I let in and who I say things to and the spaces that I occupy because um, I'm not going to occupy. I'm I'm not going to occupy a space unless it is safe for me, and I'm not going to pretend I'm somebody I'm not just so that I can like get by or just so that people won't harass me. Um, so that's like what I've dealt with. I access a lot of resources. I was seeing a therapist during all of that like shitstorm, talking to my parents a lot, talking to the people that were really like close to me and supportive in my life. And it was really just about like finding people that could validate me, which are I live in the Midwest and it's like few and far between. Like I found maybe like two or three people who actually were able to listen to me and be like, I don't understand directly what you're going through, but I know that you don't feel safe right now, and I want you to know that like your feelings are validated and so on and so forth. And that was like really important for me to just be like witnessed in a way that was sensitive during all of that. So that's about it. I Yeah, that's about it. And I scheduled my surgery, and there's a couple of links at the bottom of this page so you can subscribe or to my channel or check out t-shirts or donate or whatever you want to do. Thanks.